Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another session of Yoga Insights. This evening is going to be part 2 of Seeds of Yoga. We had held this session a few weeks ago, the first part of this session. And Seeds of Yoga is a very beautiful music album that has been created by Subha and Renuka ji, who are the founders of Being Sattva in Bali. So Subhaji comes from a banking and corporate background, but now is the founder of Being Sattva in Bali. And this beautiful album has been composed with just 18 sutras that form the essence of the Yoga Sutras. And today, Subhaji is going to allow us to experience these sutras through music. So Subhaji, would you like to join us, please? Namaste, Subhaji. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Namaste ji, namaste. Very happy to be back with Yoga Insights as always and with you, Sophia.
Thank you so much. So very excited again to listen to the beautiful sounds. I mean, it's a continuation from the last time, so I'll leave the session to you and I hope everyone enjoys it. Thank you so much.
Namaste. So, good morning and good evening, depending on which part of the world you are in. And welcome back to Seeds of Yoga. I wanted to take this opportunity to kick off with a short recap from where we left off last time. So, but as always, in the spirit of all our sessions, we will start with honoring the Master and welcoming him into our presence and be guided by his wisdom. One minute, please.
Patanjali Yoga
as always, when we speak of the Divine Master, we start by honoring the work, the amazing work that is credited to him. But today I wanted to focus on the Yoga Sutras itself, the text that guides my life, the text that I have been with for the last decade. And that Renuka and me chose to convert to music so that it may reach the people in a different way, in a way that is through the heart rather than through the mind. So today's session, as always, with respect to Seeds of Yoga, is less of explanation and more of experience, experiencing it both through music and also experiencing the wisdom through practice. And today we will focus on two songs, Kriya Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. I will start with a quick recap of where we left off last time. The text in itself is 196 sutras organized into 4 chapters, as we all know. And it's in 40 languages, as I was mentioning last time, including 2 foreign languages, one of which is Javanese and the other being Persian. The rest are all Indian languages. What we decided to do was to distill this into 5 songs. Anjali, which is what you just heard, and then Anushasanam, Abhyasa, Ishvara, Kriya, and Ashtanga. These 5 songs, we have used 18 sutras spread across these. And these form the essence of the text. And as we go through today, you will understand how we went about this. So I wanted to take a little bit time today to speak about making of a music and what it takes to convert a text of this sort into a musical. First thing is that for us, we needed to understand the concept of the album. And through the concept of the album, we chose these songs. And within those songs, these sutras, which are, what shall I say, the essence of these songs. At the same time, we wanted to make sure that we stay true to the text. So we made sure that the journey as explained in the Bhashyas, in this case, we have chosen the Bhashya of Sadashiva Brahmendra Yoga Sudhakara. We stayed true to that. So that it's not, I chose these 5 songs because I came up with this idea. We needed to stay true to the great masters. At the same time, what we did was we needed to capture the mood of every one of these songs so that we're able to explain to musicians, most of whom are new to this text, what is the way in which the music needs to be written for each of them. What is the core message of each song, and therefore what becomes the anchor sutra. And also the fact that what kind of experience that the audience needs to have as they listen to the song. So that was stage 1, for us to be able to get this whole concept of each song. First of all, the album, then within that, the sutras for each song, and within that, making sure that the mood and the sensations for each song and the anchor sutras are explained to the artists. And then top of that is to be able to get them to link with the pronunciation and the music and how they all sit together with the rhythm So that was another challenge that we had. And finally, to be able to create a music that appeals to a slightly wider audience, which is an international audience, given that there are so many people across the world who today practice yoga, but know very little about the wisdom of the Yoga Sutras. So we wanted to reach that audience. So we needed to create music that appeals to all hearts. And so therefore the music has to be done in that genre. So I just want to say all of this to you because I wanted you to know what goes behind making of such a musical, as much as to experience when you experience the music. It took us during the pandemic, so we never actually met any of the musicians during this whole process. We didn't even meet the people, we got the opportunity to meet the people who wrote the music or the arrangers who put it all together. So it was all done distant during this time. And what you're experiencing is therefore a collaboration across borders. Now, I wanted to, this sutra in itself, for me, my experience is that I imagine myself sitting beside the master, Patanjali. And here he is writing the text, which epitomizes the philosophy of an entire school. And he needed to get just few words that, just 4 words that captures the essence of the entire school, of the entire text. So 196 sutras, which are brought into the essence of it into one sutra of just 4 words. How powerful is that, right? For me, just to sit beside the master and listen to the sutra as if it's coming from him is so powerful that just 4 words can capture an entire school of philosophy, right? In these days where we give the summary at the end in most of the videos that we watch, we have to watch the whole video to get to the essence. It's given to us up front. And from there, he builds the whole of the text. It's so beautiful and so powerful. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. We spoke about this sutra the last time and what it meant. So today I won't kind of dwell too much on that. But in the path laid out by him and explained in Yoga Sudhakara by Sadashiva Brahmendra, he says that there are 3 paths which take us to the state of chitta vritti nirodha, which is essentially the state of yoga. And for the advanced practitioner, that would be abhyasa vairagya. For the intermediate practitioner, Kriya Yoga. And for all the rest, including me, is Ashtanga Yoga. So I call it the 2-step process, the 3-step process, and the 8-step process laid out by the great master, depending on where we are on our journey. So you see, the beauty of this is that the master has a path for every one of us to reach that state of yoga. Today, we will focus on Kriya Yoga and we will focus on Ashtanga Yoga. Kriya Yoga to me is very, very powerful. three-step process of tapas, swadhyaya, and Ishvara pranidhana. Before I embark on this, let me play the song, and then we will experience it first through music, and then as laid out by the master and by Sadashiva Brahmendra, we'll just experience this. I hope this works. Yeah.
तपस्वाध्यायीश्वर प्रणिधानानि क्रियायोगः 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 समाधि भावनार्थः क्लेशदनुकरणार्थश्च समाधि भावनार्थः क्लेशदनुकरणार्थश्च अविद्यास्मितारागद्वेषाभिनिवेश पञ्चक्लेशः अविद्यास्मितारागद्वेषाभिनिवेश पञ्चक्लेशः
Did something happen? Did the music stop?
ध्यानहेयास्तद्वृत्तयः 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 तपस्वाध्यायीश्वर
So just wanted to bring this beautiful wisdom of the three-step process of Kriya Yoga. And I want you all to experience it right here and right now. So take, with respect to your life or this moment today, anything that you're experiencing as a challenge, something that is very difficult for you. I will give you a very, very personal example, which is happening right now in my life. So 2 days ago, I am with my mom right now in Chennai. I have come here from Bangalore. And 2 days ago, she lives by herself. She slipped and fell. She lost her footing. So there are various things going through her mind and mine. As I come and meet her, and as I am with her right now, I have planned and scheduled to go back to Singapore in a few days. How do I use the wisdom of Kriya Yoga in this moment? So, and I'm sure each of you has something similar that you're dealing with in life or work or with respect to yourself. But let me share with you my experience of it right now. And you can reflectively use it for yourself as an experience. I am attached to a certain version of her who is very mobile. She's been very strong as a lady. Since my dad died when I was very young, he passed away very young too. So she's been from her 40s by herself and took care of herself, the family, me, all of us. So I've seen that version of her all this time. I am attached to that version, Raga. I can't bear to see the current version, Dvesha. And perhaps in all of this, there is some Raga and Dvesha towards myself, of how my life will change with respect to all of this. In this moment, if I can let go of the Raga and Dvesha, and bring that awareness, the Swadhyaya, into what exactly is going on with her and with me. And also use the other version of Swadhyaya, which is the wisdom of Kriya Yoga itself. It's the study of a text and also self-awareness, two ways in which we can see what Swadhyaya means. And in that moment, then I can't find those true answers in my mind to solve this in my mind. If I could invoke the power of Ishvara Pranidhana to guide me to find the path of how I can be better present with her and with myself. And perhaps in a different way, that opens a whole new way of my being with her. And in that moment, I am able to experience samadhi, samadhi bhavanartha. And my kleshas, raga and dvesha, towards both myself and my way I am, and towards her way and the way she is, tanukarana, start to dilute and dissolve. Take a moment to think about something that you are processing right now, and how that raga, attachment towards a certain way in which we want to be, and dvesha, the aversion towards a certain way we don't want things to be. And if we could just let that go for a moment and allow that self-awareness to guide us, or the wisdom to guide us, and invoke the presence of the universe through a gentle chant of Om, or just being present here and now, and allow ourselves to be guided by the greater wisdom of the higher wisdom of our own best self. And in this moment, we are able to experience samadhi, that oneness, so we are not separated from each other, that my mother and me are not separated. And in this moment, we feel that sense of being in yoga. As the kleshas, the attachments, and the aversions, the dveshas, start to dilute and dissolve. A very powerful path of Kriya Yoga. All beginning with the power of pause, tapas. Because in that moment of pause, of not being dragged into the same path of raga and dvesha, emerges. It is only when I can pause that I can be higher than my mind, that I am not driven by my kleshas. That is why it always begins with tapas, or the power to pause, the power to not, the power, the freedom not to. I call it free won't, just like we call it free will. But the power to do, this is the power to not do. We will now move to the popular Ashtanga. This time, we will experience it differently. We will experience Ashtanga. Oh, I forgot to mention, Kriya Yoga, the song, was done by Bombay Jayashree and Amrit Ramnath. Bombay Jayashree, as you all know, is the Oscar nominee for her song In Life of Pi. And the tonality of this song, Kriya Yoga, is very similar to that, if you have heard that song, In Life of Pi. If you haven't, go and listen to the song of Life of Pi, which was nominated for the Oscars. So coming to Ashtanga, it's of course 8 parts. So in this moment, let's experience the 8 parts first. And then we'll finish gloriously with the song before we can interact with each other. So take again a moment, or could be a challenge, could be something aspirational that you're dealing with, or just this moment, whatever thoughts are passing through your mind. And bring into your awareness one of the yamas or our attitudes. An attitude of ahimsa, whatever that means to you. Of non-violence, whatever that means to you. Right now and right here, we become aware of our body. And we invoke the power of ahimsa towards our own physical body. Just in this awareness, we see the thought in our physical body. We see the attitude of ahimsa. We take that attention now to our mind. And right now and right here, just for these few moments, doesn't matter what happened before, or it doesn't matter what's going to happen after. Just for these few moments, we let every thought in our mind to be guided by ahimsa. We take a moment now to go deeper towards all the intentions we hold in our heart. And let them all be touched by the spirit of the attitude of ahimsa. With the gentle breath, we bring into our awareness a sense of fulfillment, of completeness. We take our attention back to our body. Sthiram Sukham Asana. To be seated still and in comfort, wherever we are here and now. Relaxed in body, steady in body, Sthiram and Sukham. Perfectly still and totally comfortable. Bahya, Abhyantara, and Stamba. The exhalation, the inhalation, and the hold, the variations of the breath as it moves the energy through our nadis, through our chakras. We experience pranayama through just these simple steps of inhale, hold, exhale, and hold gently. Just conscious breathing in 4 steps. We bring our attention to the space between our eyebrows, our Ajna chakra, and turn all our senses inwards. Pratyahara. So we may be fully aware of our body, all sensations. And we are able to have a deep insight within. Simply by holding the attention on our Ajna chakra, we turn all our senses inward. We let go of our senses, but hold the attention between our eyebrows. Right now and right here, there is no other place on this planet except the space between our eyebrows. Dharana. Deshabandhas chittasya dharana. As that attention and focus becomes complete, we let go of the effort and allow that sensation to flow through our whole being. Pratyekatanatha dhyanam. And in this moment, there is no other. There is no object. There is no idea. There is no me. There is no you. I am complete and I am immersed in samadhi. Prajna Yoga. I take a moment to bring my awareness back step by step back to my Ajna chakra, back to my senses, back to my breath, back to my body, my physical body, back to where I am seated and the attitudes and actions that I hold. With another deep breath, I gently open my eyes. Just simply right there. In those few moments, just 10, 15 minutes, we had the experience of Ashtanga.
नियमा आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अष्टौ अंगानि पमपग मरि गरि सनि सरि निसरि सदा निमा पद निसा निसरि पग मप सदा निसरि रे पग मरि सदा निमा पग मरि निसा
योगांगानुष्ठानात् अशुद्धिक्षये योगांगानुष्ठानात् अशुद्धिक्षये ज्ञानदीप्तिराविवेकख्याते ज्ञानदीप्तिराविवेकख्याते योगांगानुष्ठानात् अशुद्धिक्षये योगांगानुष्ठानात् अशुद्धिक्षये ज्ञानदीप्तिराविवेकख्याते ज्ञानदीप्तिराविवेकख्याते यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अंगानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अंगानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अंगानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अंगानि
तगदिनो 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 तगदिनो
तज्जयात् प्रज्ञालोकः 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 यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अङ्गानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अङ्गानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अङ्गानि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयष्टौ अङ्गानि
Just wanted to wrap that beautiful song sung by none other than the Shankar Mahadevan together with Amrit, saying that the album is now available on Spotify, YouTube Music, JioSaavn. So you'll be able to access the music in all of these channels and enjoy yourself. I look forward to chatting with you now. I hope you had a wonderful experience of the Divine Master's wisdom.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much, Subhaji. That was really beautiful. As always, the music was wonderful. You know how you took us through the entire session, the Kriyas, your experience of Ashtanga Yoga. It was just, everything was just flowing so well, and I'm sure our participants loved it as well. So we're open for questions. If any of you have questions that you would like to ask Subhaji about the session or yoga in general also, because he has a beautiful place in Bali. So yeah, if there's any questions you all would like to ask us, those can come up. And even if they're not, meanwhile, what we can do meanwhile is, Subhaji, would you like to share your contact details with our participants if they'd like to get in touch with you, an email address or your website?
So just posting our website of Being Sattva. Also wanted to share that if you just log in here, sorry.
Kotiji, will this be visible to everyone?
Yeah, I will share with everyone.
Okay, great.
So
Thank
this
you.
link, which is Calm and Chaos 100, we have free meditations happening every week, twice a week, in fact. So if you register, you will get notifications of what the theme of the week is. So we just finished a series associated with pain in the body and mind, and we're going to start one series based on stillness. So it would be wonderful for you. And then, of course, Being Sattva being our website. And you can find me as Being with Subha on Instagram. Yeah.
Great.
So-
So that's on our chat. And oh, Anshu Vashishta ji is saying thank you so much. And she's asking, please speak about the role of yogasana and asanas.
Okay, so in a world where we are mostly yoga is dominated by asanas, it is it's difficult for me, honestly, to speak because there's so much of it around. But I whenever I speak to people about the practice of asanas, I speak about a few things. What is the fundamental attitude that we need to hold when we are practicing asanas? So first is ahimsa towards our physical body. So, but at the same time, we need to know that we need to be at the edge at every moment of the asana practice. Because when we are behind the edge, there is no impact. And when we are beyond the edge, we are hurting our body. So we have to be so precise in the asana practice and so perfect in terms of our awareness of where we are. That is very, very important to hold. The second, and this is what we call as the balance, the perfect balance that we need to hold. The second thing is about the attitude towards ourselves, about holding that attitude of love and affection towards our body. Sometimes it's tough love, but it's still love. But we need to hold that, and rather than do it in any other way of violence. The third, very important, is that the ego needs to be dropped. And each day is different. Our body is in a different state, and our body is different from everyone else's body. So the practice is for our journey and not as a compete. It's non-compete and it's not a sport. And the last, of course, since all of us know, no breath, no yoga. So every asana, the breath is such an important part because the energy flows with the breath and the movement when they are in union. So thank you very much for asking this question, because I'm very passionate about how asana is practiced in today's world. And these are my broad principles that I share in asana practice.
Thank you so much. We also have a comment from Anjan ji, who's saying Thanksgiving for the session with the rendering of sound. Thank you for watching, Anjan ji. Then Anshu ji is saying, any prior attempts at musical rendition of the Yoga Sutras?
We had a prior attempt. I wouldn't say it's an attempt, but we did one at the early stage of the pandemic. I will try and pick that. And Sophia, can I send that to you offline and you can pass this to everyone who's registered?
Sure. Kotiji, can we do that? Is that possible?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, great. If you do, we'll have it sent to all the participants.
Yeah.
So that was a single song which captured the essence of yoga. It was called The Spirit of Yoga. And we had done it with Hariharan ji and another doctor from Mumbai. So you'll see both of them on the album.
Thank you so much, Anshuji, for the question, Anjanji for watching, and all our participants for joining us. If you all have any questions, please send, and we will make sure that we send this link to you that Subhaji just spoke about after the session by tomorrow. Just before we leave, we have a few announcements. As far as Indica Yoga is concerned, we have a lot of courses and exciting retreats coming up. And of course, starting with next week's session for Yoga Insights. Okay, we'll start with, next week's session is also about sound. We're going to be talking about Nada Yoga. The session will be hosted by Rajesh David ji, who's a singer, composer, and a yoga teacher. So please join us for this next week. Then we have a retreat coming up in Goa, which we're all very excited about. It's our first retreat in Goa. It's called Darshana Experience the Self. This is being held in association with the Goa-based Hatha Yoga teacher Alisha Netalkar. And you have more time to register because the retreat was going to be held in August, but now we've moved it to November. It's going to be from the 6th to 12th of November. And the details for all of these events are on our website. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kotiji. Thank you. I think we may have. Anjanji is asking a question. His question is, how will we tranquilize ourselves by the sound between the song through yoga practice?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. How will we
tranquilize ourselves by the sound bit in between the song through yoga practice? I don't quite understand. Would you like to elaborate, Anjanji? We're not sure what the question is.
In the meanwhile, I posted the link on the earlier song. Spirit of
Okay,
Yoga.
fantastic. Thank you. Kotiji, can you make sure everyone gets that, please? So there you have it. So then we don't have to send it, or we will even, we can still email it to everyone in case they miss this. Oh, and also please keep in mind that all of our sessions are recorded. So if you would like to share this beautiful experience and the music of the Seeds of Yoga, please do, because this session is recorded. And also, if this is the first time you're joining us, please go back to our website and look at Seeds of Yoga Part 1, because this is a continuation of that. So you can view all of Subhaji's sessions on the Indica Yoga website as well as our YouTube channel. I don't think Anjanji has elaborated on this. So if you're watching this and you still want this answered, maybe you can email the question to us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Would you like to leave us with any last advice before we sign out?
I would just say that I give attention to the philosophy at the level that you connect with it. It doesn't have to be that, oh, I have not yet understood it. The way we have understood it, we integrate that into our lives. So I always encourage people to go from knowing to doing and to making it a way of being. So make yoga your way of being. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you so much, Indika. Kotiji, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Subhaji. That was beautiful. As always, everything you say, I mean, you're so poetic. It's really always wonderful to host a session with you. I'm sure our participants agree. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. And hope to see you all in my session on meditation together with you, Sophia.
So, of course, that's going to come up soon as well. Yes, we're going to have another session by Subhaji soon. So stay tuned. Details will be on our social media and website. Thank you, everyone. I think, sorry, if we just have one more minute, Anjanji has come back with his question. He feels the peace while listening to the sound in between yoga. I still don't get it. Sorry.
So I think what he may be saying is that between yoga, he listens to the music and he feels the peace, and then he goes back to the practice. So my encouragement to people is to play the music and have the wisdom ringing in your ears as you practice yoga. So that's my only encouragement to people, so that, and the repetition, which is japa, artha, bhavana, the way it's done, the music is done, so that the core sutras get embedded into our thought and mind.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Subhaji. With that, I think we've come to the end of the session. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.